Hello and welcome back to another Voxel tutorial. In this one, we're gonna set up user profiles and add a link to the user menu that points to the user profile. Let's go to the WordPress dashboard and go to post types. So profiles in Voxel are a custom post type, but you don't have to create it manually. Instead, you can manage it down here. Find profiles and press manage with Voxel. And now you can manage profiles like any other post type, so add fields, design the templates, create search filters, and so on. Let's first create the fields. So for profiles, we don't need the title field. Instead, we're going to use the profile name field. We're also going to add the profile picture field, featured image, and we're going to add another field for location. So let's add the location preset. And finally, we're gonna add a text editor field. And we're gonna use this to add the bio. And let's keep it as plain text. Save changes. The next thing we're gonna do is go to Appearance Menus. And on the user menu, we're gonna add a custom link. For the URL, let's just type hashtag. And for the title, type profile. We're gonna put it on the first spot here, and let's select an icon. And for this link to point to the user profile, we have to apply dynamic URL. So click here and go to user, and then select profile URL dynamic tag. Save changes. And now in front end, when we click profile, we are sent to the user profile page. But right now this is empty because we haven't yet designed the template. Before we do that, let's go to fields again, and we're gonna apply default image for the picture and featured image. So click on the profile picture, pick an image, and let's pick this one. And let's do the same for the featured image. Save changes. And next I'm gonna go to the templates tab. And we're gonna design the single post template and the create post template. So if you remember from the previous video, when we worked on the places post type, I mentioned that each post type has its own front-end submission page. So what we're gonna do is edit the submission page for places and just copy the design and close it. And now in the profile post type, I'm gonna create the submission page for it. Edit the template and paste the design here. And the only thing we're going to do is change the post type to profiles, and we are also going to hide the footer on this page. So before we proceed, let's explain some differences between profiles and other custom post types. Profiles in Voxel are limited to one per user, and they are automatically generated when the user signs up. So in this site, for example, we have a single user account, and if we go to profiles, we can see a profile is automatically generated for it. This means after the user signs up, the profile is auto-generated by Voxel, and the user can only edit it, but they cannot create additional profiles because they are limited to one per account. Let's go to the post type editor again, edit profiles. Templates, and edit the single post template. And let's now design the template for the user profile. I'm gonna set the width to 600, and let's set the padding to 50. And we're gonna name this main profile container. Inside this container, we're gonna add a few more containers. So this is going to be the top area. Let's duplicate it. Let's name this profile details, and duplicate it one more time. And this one, we're gonna display the activity feed for this user. So let's name it timeline. In the top area, we're gonna display the featured image and the avatar. So let's add two heading widgets. And for the first one, we're gonna set the border radius to 10 and set the aspect ratio to 16:9. As for the second image, we're gonna change the size to medium and let's set the width to 80 pixels. Same for the height. For the object fit, let's set it to cover so the image does not stretch, and let's set the radius to 50% so we get this rounded avatar. I'm now gonna select the top area and set the gap to 0, and what I want to achieve is the avatar to go over the featured image a bit. To do that, I'm gonna select the featured image, go to advanced, and we're gonna apply some negative bottom margin to pull the avatar up. Let's now populate these widgets with dynamic data. I'm gonna pull the featured image here, and the avatar on the other widget. So profile picture, file ID. Let's also add a solid border, 5 pixels, and set the color to white. I'm going to reduce the aspect ratio of the featured image to 16:7. And next I'm gonna work on the profile details. So here we want to display the profile name. So let's change the HTML tag. Under style, let's align it to the center and pull the profile name. The next thing I'm going to do is duplicate this heading widget. Let's change the HTML tag to a paragraph, and let's pull the bio field here and set the typography to text. Let's also change the text color to gray. I'm going to reduce the gap between the heading and the text to 7. The next thing I'm going to do is add some actions here. So previously we added some actions to the places post type on the right side here. So let's edit the template and copy them so we don't recreate them from scratch. So back to the profile, right click and paste. So in the listing page, we set the widget position to absolute, but we don't want that here. So I'm gonna set it to default and change the justification to center. Let's move this below the description and go to content. And for the share post, we're gonna change the label to share profile. For the edit, let's put edit profile, and we're gonna add another action. Pick message post author, remove the text and enable tooltip, and type a direct message. Let's select an icon, and we're gonna put the edit post to the last position and the share post on the second spot. Save changes. Let's go to the profile and see how it looks. So we can see our template is being applied. I'm going to press edit, and I'm going to make some changes here. First, I'm gonna delete the profile picture. Let's change the location and save changes. So now that we have removed our profile picture, the default one is being displayed. Let's now display the location down here. Back to the template, I'm going to add an actions widget here, add an item, and for the action I'm gonna leave it to none because we are just displaying the location and we don't want any action to be performed. For the text, I'm gonna pull the location. Actually, let's pull a short one, so short address, and I'm gonna set an icon here. Let's work with the styling. Let's increase the gap and set the color to gray and reduce the icon size to 22. I'm gonna apply some padding to the items and save changes. I'm also gonna hide the footer for user profiles. So on the page settings, hide footer and save. Let's now again change all of these fields to verify everything is working. So I'm gonna pick this one for the avatar, and let's pick this as the cover image. Change the location, and let's make a change to the bio and save changes. So we can now verify all our dynamic data is working well. Another thing we have to account is what happens when some of these data are missing. So for the featured image and the avatar, we have solved it by applying a default image. For the bio, we're gonna hide the widget entirely when there is no bio provided. So hide this element if bio is empty. And we're gonna do a similar thing to the location icon here. So hide this if location, pick any of these tags and check if they are empty. Another thing we're gonna display here is the number of people that follow this user and the number of people that the user follows. So let's add an item, upload an icon. And for the text, we're gonna pull the number of followers. Let's go to author, followers, and pick follow count. And let's type followers. Let's duplicate this, and this one we're gonna pick following, follow count, and type following. Save changes. Next, we're gonna work on the timeline container here. We're gonna add the timeline widget. And we're gonna set the mode to current author timeline. Let's change the create status text to something like what's happening, and let's pick the display name. For no posts, we're gonna type no activity by this user, and save changes. So the current author timeline shows any social activity that this user has performed on the site. This includes any comments, reviews, and also they can add status updates here. Let's add one. And all of this activity will be shown on the newsfeed of people who follow this user. So to add the follow functionality, let's add the action here, add item. Select follow post author as action. Let's pick an icon and delete this text and enable the tooltip. Let's type follow author or follow user. And for the active state, let's pick another icon. Let's upload this one and insert. And save changes. So now in front end we have the ability to follow this user. Let's work with the style on the active state. So under active, I'm gonna set the icon color to white, the background color to accent, and the border color to accent as well. So we can more easily tell that we follow this user. So the follow action can be added both to user profiles, and also it can be added to the actual listings. So in that case, the actual listing can share status updates, and the people who follow that listing get those updates in their newsfeed. We haven't created the newsfeed yet, so let's do that. Go to dashboard, design, general, social, and here we can create the newsfeed. Let's edit the template. And just to save time, I'm going to copy the design from the profile. Paste it here. We're gonna delete the top area. and also the profile details. And on the timeline widget, we're gonna change the mode to logged in user newsfeed. For the no post text, we're gonna type no activity available and save changes. Let's now add the newsfeed to the user menu. Add to menu, and let's pick an icon, move it to the second spot and save changes. So now in our user menu, we have the profile, which shows our activity, and we can create more status updates here. And we have the newsfeed, where all the activity from people and listings we follow appears here, including our own activity. I think we covered a lot in this video, so I'm gonna end this here and continue on the next one.